Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today in this Unimportant review, we have the Tallgeese 2 from the Gundam Universe line. From the anime, Gundam Wing. Main reason I picked this up is really like Gundam Wing. Tallgeese is cool. Granted, this is mostly just a recolor of the original Tallgeese figure that we got. Outside of... honestly, I think it's just the head. I got both of them hanging out here so we can look at them side by side. But for the most part, it seems kind of just a repaint, which is honestly sort of what it was in the anime as well. That also with these videos, they are unedited reviews that go up on our Patreon in advance. So if you guys like to keep up to date with these videos and help support the channel, make sure to go check that out. Because a lot of these videos tend to be things that might not generally get as many views. And I don't plan on really doing a lot of comparisons of photos for these things, and just want to make these reviews as like fast as possible. Maybe not clean, but fast as possible. So anyways, speaking of, without further ado, for the packaging, you get, again, I love the box arts on these Gundam Universe figures, where you got the Tallgeese here. It looks phenomenal. And they're always just kind of standing on the side. More Tallgeese back. Just shows pretty much him in some dynamic poses, what you could do with them, and other Gundams in line with some Legal Mumbo Jumbos, and more Tallgeese on the bottom. So, got his accessories hanging out in here. Because pretty much all my Gundam Universe figures, all the accessories kind of hang out in one baggie. Because for the most part, a lot of them... was it only on the one hand? I think it was only the one hand. For some odd reason, I thought he had two gripping hands, but it's like, why would he have two gripping hands? The one hand has a shield. So, anyways, like with most of these figures, they come with a little peg here that goes into the groin region. Like so. So that you can attach a Tamashiak stand to them. And then he also comes with a clenched fist, which was what was on the figure to begin with. And then also has a gripping hand for this side, primarily for the cannon here, but you can also use it for the beam sabers, which a cool little feature on this guy is beam saber is actually hidden underneath the shield. So you'll see there's a little peg here. That's where that was. Also, the beam is done in a metallic pink. And then you can just pop that off. And then for storage, reattach the beam saber under here, which I think is really sweet. The other cool thing about that too is one thing I really love with figures is when you can have almost like all the accessories they would come with just kind of hanging out on the figure. So you can have like the gun here with this giant cannon that just attaches to this ball joint here. So you get a little bit of rotation and play to it. And the hand also, or the handle also has a hinge. So you can rest, try to get it in the hand. And then you just, not showing it off successfully, but you can sort of pose it around and get it to aim. Do be warned, do not try to stress this piece here. So you got to kind of be careful the way you're bending it. So I always recommend kind of trying to get it into the pose that you want and then adjusting accordingly. Just to try not to stress this much, because I can see this thing breaking pretty easily off. It's the same with the shield over here too. Is the same thing. It's got that ball joint there, but it's a little bit tough. So when you're rotating, you almost kind of want to grab here, just to make sure you're not damaging anything. And then I think that was pretty much it. I had to attach the thrusters on the back here, which do have these little wings that pop out, which is pretty sweet. Done in a cat hair. Got a lot of cat hair on the table these past couple of videos. I don't even think he's really been in here. Anyways, got some white here. Got some blue here. I think it's metallic. Looks slightly metallic-y. Then detailing on the back here. Looks really nice too. He's got these giant blue skirts coming around. I always like too that he just has like a little handle on the front of his chest. And you got the white here for the panel, or the yellow here for the paneling. Got the little missile pods on the top here. The head has this really gnarly looking mohawk crest, which I always thought was kind of the cool thing about this one in particular to the original Tallgeese. Because the original Tallgeese kind of looks like he has a broom just hanging out. This looks a little bit more Gundam appropriate. And then he almost kind of looks like he's crying blood on the side of his face. But overall, really good. Like with pretty much all the kits, could you maybe use a little bit of panel lining. But the one thing I kind of like to think about with these guys is they're almost kind of just like unfinished kits that you didn't have to put together. So if you want to put some work into them, they're really cool for doing that. And if you don't want to put work into them, still looks good. Outside of, like with a lot of these figures, the skirts really like to pop off randomly. And pretty much it. Just a lot of white plastic and blue plastic everywhere. Shield looks really cool. But for his articulation, head can rotate all the way around. Get a little bit of play there at the neck, so it can hinge forward to get a little bit more of a look down. The arms can go up about that far, down about that far. This part is on a hinge, and then we went over the ball joint. This can also lift up too, though. It does the same thing on both sides. Then got the double jointed elbow that gives you a 90-degree bend. Hand can rotate. It's kind of the same issue. This guy, like the Master Gundam, it's just the way, like how bulky everything is on this. It kind of hinders the articulation a little bit. Not nearly as bad though. Like, to be honest, that's a pretty solid bend still, to be fair. While with the Master Gundam, I had the hardest time just trying to bend the thing's damn knees. For the waist, can rotate side to side, cannot go all the way around. You can get a little bit of a wiggle. These skirts can lift up pretty far on this one. The back ones are fixated, so you can get an okay splits. Rotation at the top of the thigh. Honestly though, you still, this can shift up and down, but you can't get too much of a forward kick or a back kick on this guy, to be honest. Rotation, I think I already mentioned that. Double jointed knee, so you get it a little better than a 90. And the feet can go forward and back and rotate side to side. And I think, nope, that's all one connected unit. And then real quick, just to grab the original Tallgeese, just to show you guys. But, like I mentioned, pretty much the same figure. It's literally just the helmet. But but that being said, the helmet is completely different. It's not just like a different mohawk and they called it a day. But I think guns pretty much the same. Skirts all look the same. Feet all look the same. Shield doesn't have the decal on it. Also has a lot less dust because he's just been kind of hanging on the shelf for the longest time. But other than that, pretty much the exact same toy. So, that being said with this video, if you have the first Tallgeese, you probably don't really need this one. You primarily want to get this one if you really just like this version of Tallgeese more than the first one. Then I'd probably get this, or more of a completionist. If you're planning on picking up all the Gundam Wing figures, then you're going to probably be grabbing this guy no matter what. But if you guys would like to pick them up, link in the description for Entertainment Earth. Help support the channel. Get yourself a sweet collectible. Also, we got a Patreon, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. Guys, like you about the day, which channel donate. Greatly would appreciate it. And help us defeat those kaiju by hitting the like button. Subscribe, become a Ranger today. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.